Today, I'm doing something a little outside of my comfort zone. I am one of those people who does not use grocery pickup. I like picking out my own food, especially my produce. I like to check dates. I like to pull from the back. You've seen the crazy lady in the grocery store. That's me. I'm her. Since I've been trying to incorporate a lot more healthy fats into my diet, and I'm trying to really focus on whole foods, my grocery budget has obviously gone up. And the thing is, I'm not just feeding myself. I have a family. I have children and young adult children, and they don't necessarily have the same food preferences and dietary needs that I do. So this week I'm going to make a few small changes. One, I'm doing a grocery pickup, letting someone else pick out my stuff so that I don't get drawn into impulse buys. That I think will really help me with my budgeting. I've also made a meal plan for the week, which most of the meals are going to be Galveston diet, at least maintenance friendly. But where I'm really going to be focusing on is making meals that me and my family can enjoy, even if we have slightly different portion sizes. Like I may have a bit more vegetables and protein and less carbs, but I'll still have the carbs that my family is eating. Just changing. I'll show you. But for now, let's go pick up some groceries, see what I got, and see what this grocery haul is going to look like for a perimenopausal woman who still has a family to feed. This is going to be everything from the frozen section that I picked up. Now remember, this is not just for myself, it's also for my family, and they have different dietary needs than I do. So as per usual, I picked up my sockeye salmon. I also grabbed some broccoli florets, as well as some crispy broccoli. One of my kids wants to try out broccoli again, and I thought this would be maybe a fun way. I also grabbed some Beyond sausages. My daughter starts every morning with Advanced gluten-free waffles, so of course I got those. I also picked up some tater tots for sides with dinner. These are not technically frozen, they're in the dairy section, but I do keep them in the freezer because they're like a little ice cream treat, the mini Greek yogurt bars. And for my kids, I picked up mini ice cream sandwiches and fudge bars. From our produce section, I was actually pretty well stocked in my produce already, but I did pick up some little potatoes. I picked these up for my daughter because she loves a good baked potato. Some shallots, a block of tofu. I usually pick up super firm, but this will work just fine. I also picked up some of these Thai basil dumplings. We love these. And of course, some green onions, some bell peppers, and some carrots. For my pantry today, we definitely were low on snack foods, and while they may not all be for me, I do have an assortment of things I keep in my house. For starters, I picked up a bag of sugar. This will probably last me about 6 months, but I do use sugar in my house. We also have some sunflower kernels, and I picked up these 2 bags of nuts, one for me and one for my son, just as a treat. I absolutely love the Seeds of Change organic 7 whole grains, so I picked up a package of those and some goldfish. We also have some graham crackers and some Triscuits, as well as some peanut butter crackers. My daughter really, really loves those. And they have 4 grams of added sugar per package, which for me is awesome. We also have some Nutella, speaking of sugar, as well as some plant-based meat. This is made primarily from pea protein and pinto beans. Very, very good. I picked up 2 cans of tomatoes, fire roasted, of course my Kalamata olives. I picked up some decaf chai because I've been having some palpitations, and I think cutting back on my caffeine might be a good idea. As well as a big bag of pistachios for my son. I grabbed some white chocolate chips. I have plain spaghetti and Banza spaghetti. I like to mix them because the protein and the fiber on this one is really, really great, but the texture is not my favorite, so do half this, half that, best of both worlds. 1 loaf of power seed bread, and I got 4 packets of tuna, 2 plain, 2 seasoned. I have 1 jar of tomato sauce, some avocado oil, apple cider vinegar, bottle of maple syrup for my daughter's breakfast, some Jif peanut butter, no sugar added, baking soda, and I was running really low on cinnamon. And last but definitely not least, we have our dairy section. So I picked up a dozen eggs as well as some shredded parm. I picked up 2 containers of cottage cheese because they were out of the large ones, some butter, a block of Kerrygold cheddar. I got some 2% Greek yogurt. The 5% is a bit too rich for me, so we're going to try the 2% out this week. I also grabbed some crab meat, which is not technically dairy, but it's in a similar spot in the store, and a block of feta cheese, my Nut Pods creamers. They're unsweetened. I absolutely love them. And some iced coffee. I wanted to take just a minute to talk about why I choose some of the foods that I choose in the grocery store. For example, hold on. I'm gonna cut myself off right there. As I was editing, it occurred to me that you may not care why I buy the potatoes or the nut butter that I buy, and that's cool. That's fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and make that into a second video, and I will leave the link for that in the description below. In that video, I'll go over some of the groceries that I bought and why I make the choices that I do, and maybe even include a quick tour of my very, very outdated pantry. So if that's something that's interesting to you, I would love it if you check that video out. And if not, thank you so much for watching this one, and I will see you next week with another weigh-in and grocery haul, and maybe even some new meal ideas. Thanks a lot.